I use Adobe's Bridge constantly, and I find it very useful. Let's spend just 5 minutes on some of my favourite uses. My top use is simply as a browser, to view, select and open images. But in fact, Bridge will open almost any file. As you can see here, I have RAW files and they will open up directly into Adobe Camera Raw if clicked. I have JPEGs which will open up directly into Photoshop. I have a Photoshop layered file which again would open up into Photoshop, but down at the bottom right I have a Word doc which I can open straight into Word, and also one of my own videos. Now, one of the most important things for me is to be able to save this window just as I like it, because we can move the window around and show anything we wish to show. Generally, I do have the collections above. I've locked away any of the panels on the right hand side, but then if we go to the option at the top right of the screen, we can choose to create a new workspace or reset it, but let's just create a new workspace. It's as simple as that. We just give it a name and click Save. And that's what you can see here. That's my own workspace that you can see. So I could switch to the others, but at any time I can come back to my own workspace and my favourite way of working. One of my favourite uses is as a sorting mechanism. So if I select one image in a large batch of images and touch the spacebar, I get to see a full screen preview. Let's just assume that I've decided that this image isn't sharp enough, or for some reason I want to label this image. I'm going to hit my number 6 key. Down at the bottom left you can see a red label, but now I can use my cursor control keys to skip to the next image, and if that was unsuitable I could hit my number 6 key again, and so on. So I could go through a batch of images hitting the spacebar when I want to return to Bridge, and all of those I've selected now have a red label. There are other colours you can choose. Now I can come back to that folder of images anytime in the future, go to the filter option at the top right and just show the labelled items. And from there, of course, I can highlight them all and I could copy them to a new location or delete them. To come out of this, just go back and choose Clear Filter. Collections allow us to select images from different drives and different folders from all over our computer. It's great for selecting content for use in other projects. Just click the new Collections icon and name the folder. Now we just need to click and drag any file into our collection. Then the collection folder can be selected and the content copied to the location of your new project. Highlight and remove thumbnails from your collections, don't delete them. Now, did you know that Bridge could be used like a lightbox sorting table, which could be useful if you're a slideshow creator, but I'm sure there's going to be other uses. For example, I can click, drag and drop images into any location that I like. Now, this works very well in conjunction with the batch rename. So let's take a look at that next. For batch rename, select one or as many images as you want to rename. Right-click and choose Batch Rename. Now there's quite a lot of options here, but let's keep things simple. Rename in the same folder. I'm going to stay with the option for a sequence number starting at 1, and I can use 3 digits and simply rename. And everything there has now been renamed appropriately. Now I mentioned labels a little bit earlier. For those, select Edit, Preferences, and then Labels and Ratings. And at the top, I choose to remove the tick for the control key. That allows me to add labels with my left hand while I use my right hand, jumping from image to image with the cursor control keys. Very useful. Now, very quickly to finish, one other bridge option which has been very useful to me is take these three thumbnails. I want to open them up into Photoshop and put them into a layered stack. Select all three, go to Tools, Photoshop, Load Files into Photoshop Layers. Everything is done for us pretty much instantly.